and let it bot.
About 4 years ago, I purchased this Hewlett-Packard Z820 workstation. It included dual 8-core Xeon CPUs, 64 gigs of RAM, and 4 hot swap bays. The CPUs are now outdated and have reached end of life for Rocky Linux 10, removing the RTX A4000 GPU. I really hate to replace my old workhorse, but I have no option. And no, this computer cannot run Windows 11. The Hewlett-Packard Z820 isn't just an old computer. It's a piece of cinematic history. The exact same model was a frontline tool in creating not just Turbo, but also other major animated films like Rise of the Guardians, The Croods, and How to Train Your Dragon 2. It represented an era when workstations like this were the unsung heroes of Hollywood, powering the creative revolution in computer animation. It deserves a proper retirement. And now for a moment of silence. Introducing my new workstation, a Dell Precision 7820. Purchase price is $500 Canadian. This unit is a single socket 22 core CPU and 64 gigs of RAM. The 7820 was among the first workstations to feature an Intel Xeon scalable processor family, codenamed Skylake SP. This wasn't just a small upgrade, it was a complete overhaul of Intel's server and workstation CPU design. Installing the GPU, a dual socket CPU design offering up to 56 cores and 112 threads. Massive memory bandwidth with 12 memory slots supporting up to 768 gigs of RAM. That's RDIMM memory. It's a 6-channel memory architecture, meaning data flows to and from the CPUs like a 6-lane superhighway. That's the power to handle real-time 8K video editing, complex 3D rendering, and intensive scientific simulations that would bring a standard consumer PC to its knees. Who hasn't been there? When a drive fails, you lose your entire operating system, your settings, your application configurations, and days or weeks of your life getting everything set up again. I installed 2 Samsung 870 EVO SSDs. I configured as RAID 1 to mirror operating system in case one fails. RAID 1 or mirroring is the simplest form of redundancy. It writes every single bit of data to both drives at the same time. If one drive dies, the other one keeps running without missing a beat. I can literally pull out a failed drive, pop a new one in, and the system will rebuild the mirror. My computer never goes down. I had a failure in the past and I consider this cheap insurance. And RAID 1 can actually improve read speeds because the controller can read both the drives simultaneously. I rely heavily on AI to configure and solve issues with my computer and operating systems. It hallucinates a lot. I recommend everyone to always do their research. I could be wrong. I am addicted to vibe coding. Behind the hood is Dell's FlexBay modular front accessible drive bay system. Each includes a removable drive carrier that is hot swappable. No need to power down. For those who hadn't dealt with drive bays, they look fragile, yet I have yet to break one. Now here's a moment that had me holding my breath. Remember the old Hewlett-Packard Z820? It had 4 terabit drives in a ZFS RAID 2 array. That's not just storage, that's years of footage and project. The Dell Precision 7820 has these hot swap bays on the front, and I thought, could I just move the drives, same data, same ZFS pool? Would it just work? Here's the thing about a ZFS that blows my mind. It doesn't care about order. It doesn't care which SATA port you use. It doesn't care which bay the drive sits in. ZFS labels every drive with a unique identifier. When you plug them in, the pool just assembles itself like magic. The Hewlett-Packard Z820 gave its life for my creativity, but its heart lives in the Dell. 4 drives, 1 pool, 0 drama. That's the power of ZFS. A NAS is great for backups and file sharing, but for active editing, for the footage that pays the bills, give me a direct attached storage with hot swap bays every time. It's faster, it's simpler, and when a drive dies, I'm the only one who even notices. Dell's 4 drives are connected directly to the PCIe bus. No network, no switch, no overhead. When DaVinci Resolve asks for a frame, it gets it in microseconds, not milliseconds. Here's something a NAS can't do. My Dell has 64 gigabits of RAM, and ZFS uses as much of that as possible for something called the ARC Adaptive Replacement Cache. When I edit a project, ZFS caches frequently accessed footage in RAM. The first time I scrub through a timeline, it reads from the drives. The second time, it reads from the RAM at 20,000 plus megabits a second, zero latency, instant playback. Through the Open ZFS project, ZFS has been ported to multiple operating systems, including Solaris, Illumis, FreeBSD, Linux, Mac operating system, but Windows is still in an experimental stage. Here's a secret that tech influencers won't tell you. You don't need the latest gear to start. You need reliable gear. The tools don't make the creator makes the tools. Start where you are. Use what you have. And when you're ready to level up, remember, the best gear isn't the newest gear. It's the gear that lets you work without worrying about the gear. I recommend to purchase enterprise workstations because they are designed expressly for my needs as a creator. Enterprise workstations are an all-in-one solution. All components are designed to work together for optimum performance without bottlenecks. Though I am using Rocky Linux 10, these computers also work great in Windows 11. I must add this disclaimer though. The hardware must be either Linux or Windows 11 compliant. A word of warning, one must always do their own research and find a reputable supplier. Let me stress this point. Please do not buy an end-of-life computer to support your preferred operating system. Please like and subscribe. If you are looking for a Windows 11 supported computer, see my previous video, Unsupported Windows 11 Use Buyer's Guide.